Welcome to Earthy Remedy. If you've been looking for a safe, simple way to brighten weekday dinners and try fermentation without the fuss, today's episode is for you. One small jar changed my weeknight routine, and today I'll show you how to run a tiny, safe experiment. A single-serve 48-hour ferment you can try for a 7-day micro-trial. Stay with me through the episode, because at the end I'll walk you step by step through 2 hands-on demos, a refrigerator sauerkraut and a lime carrot quick pickle, plus low-sodium methods and a vinegar fallback for higher-risk folks.
First, what are quick ferments, and why do they feel safer? Quick ferments are chilled, short-window fermentations made in a single jar in the refrigerator. Because they stay cold and we keep the time short, in this case about 48 hours, they limit the opportunity for unwanted microbes to take hold, and they develop crisp, bright flavors rather than a long, tangy sauerkraut profile. Sensory-wise, expect gentle fizz, a fresh tang, and crunchy texture. If you like tangy, crunchy condiments, this is a low-effort way to add that to your meals.
Before we dig into benefits and limits, let me be clear about inclusion. Quick ferments can add flavor, texture, and a small dose of live cultures for people who tolerate fermented foods. They're culinary tools, not medical cures. If you're immunocompromised, pregnant, very young, or have serious chronic illness, check with your clinician before tasting raw ferments. For those listeners, I'll always offer a vinegar pickle fallback you can use safely. Culturally, these methods are flexible. Use cabbage, daikon, carrot, turnip, radish, or even okra in some regions. Think of this as a framework you can adapt to the vegetables you already cook with.
Now let's talk salt. On air, I'll keep this simple and conservative. The rule I'll name is 2% by weight for traditional fermentation. That's the gold standard, but exact grams and a printable weight table are in the show notes. If you don't have a scale, use the TSP per cup fallback. Roughly 3/4 of a teaspoon of non-iodized salt per cup of shredded vegetables is a safe starting point for a refrigerator ferment. For low-sodium options, you can reduce salt slightly. Try 1/2 to 2/3 of that teaspoon per cup and rely on a short vinegar brine or a vinegar fallback if you need to avoid salt. I'll also give spoken timing cues as we go. I'll tell you when to check at 24 hours and again at 48 hours, so everyone can follow along by sound and voice.
Demo 1. Single Jar Refrigerator Sauerkraut. This is the classic and the main payoff of today's episode. Name of the recipe: Single Jar Refrigerator Sauerkraut. For one small jar, you'll need about 1 packed cup of finely shredded cabbage, 3/4 of a teaspoon non-iodized salt per cup as our on-air fallback, and a clean 8 to 12 ounce jar with a tight lid. Equipment: a bowl, something to press the cabbage down with, a clean spoon or a small jar, and a strainer for when you serve it. If you prefer weight measurements, the exact gram table is in the show notes.
Step by step for the sauerkraut. Step 1. Thinly shred your cabbage and place it in a clean bowl. Step 2. Sprinkle the salt. Remember our on-air fallback of roughly 3/4 teaspoon per cup, and massage the cabbage gently for about 2 to 3 minutes until it releases some liquid. You're looking for the cabbage to begin to wilt and for liquid to pool. Step 3. Pack the cabbage tightly into your jar so the liquid rises above the vegetables. If you need a substitution, try daikon or turnip shredded the same way. They pack and press similarly. Step 4. Seal the jar and place it in the refrigerator. Now, audio cue. Set a timer. Check softly at 24 hours. You may hear a faint hiss or tiny bubbles, or notice a brighter scent. At 48 hours, you'll taste a small spoonful. If it's pleasantly tangy and not off in smell or color, it's ready to eat or keep chilled for a few more days. If anything smells rotten, or if you see fuzzy mold, discard and rinse the jar, and read the discard rules our Kif Weeder.
A few packing tips. Press down so the liquid covers the veg. That's the protective layer. If you don't have enough liquid, you can add a little cold boiled and cooled water with a pinch of salt to reach the level. Keep the jar in the coldest part of your fridge. And remember, shorter time, colder temp equals lower risk in these short ferments.
Demo 2. 48-hour lime carrot quick pickle. Name of the recipe: Lime carrot quick pickle for bright crunch. For one small jar, you'll need 1 cup of julienne or thinly sliced carrots,
the juice of 1 lime or about 2 tablespoons, a pinch of salt. Use our teaspoon fallback of about 3/4 teaspoon per cup if you want a dry salt method, or use a light brine of 1 tablespoon vinegar to 1 cup water as an alternative. Equipment: a jar, a small bowl for mixing, and a lid. If you want a regional swap, use okra, sliced radish, or thinly sliced daikon instead of carrot.
Step by step for the lime carrot. Option A, dry salt. Toss the carrots with a small amount of salt, let sit for 15 to 30 minutes until they soften slightly, then press into the jar and add the lime juice so it sits over the veg. Option B, quick brine or vinegar fallback. Mix 1 part vinegar to about 3 to 4 parts water with a pinch of salt, pour over the carrots, and seal. This vinegar option is our recommended path for high-risk listeners who want the flavor without raw fermentation. For the ferment route, chill in the fridge and check at 24 hours. You should hear subtle bubbles or notice a fresh, bright scent. Then taste at 48 hours. If you use the vinegar fallback, it's safe to eat after a few hours, and you won't need to worry about live cultures.
Quick pause for credibility and safety. A short food safety note. I'll summarize the essentials and expert emphasizes. Keep equipment clean, cold temps slow microbial growth, and if you're unsure, err on the side of discarding. Public health guidance from USDA and local health departments recommends refrigeration and conservative discard rules for short ferments. I've linked those sources and an easy printable checklist with exact grams and temperatures in the show notes. This is where it gets practical. Follow the checklist if you want precise weights rather than the teaspoon fallback.
A listener sent a quick success note that I want to share. She tried a single jar of carrot lime for a week and said it added bright crunch to lunches and that the flavor nudged her to eat more vegetables. Little wins like that matter. If you try the micro trial, one small change like adding a jar to your fridge can shift how you eat across the week.
Here's how to run the 7-day micro trial. Step 1, pick 1 jar and 1 recipe, either the sauerkraut or the lime carrot. Step 2, record a simple log for 7 days. Fields, date time, vegetable used, salt method, teaspoon fallback or brine, taste at 24 and 48 hours, any digestive notes, and whether you enjoyed it. Step 3, keep the rest of your routine the same, single change rule, so you can see if this one condiment shifts meals or digestion. Stop criteria. If you notice strong stomach pain, fever, or other serious symptoms after tasting, stop and consult a clinician. For low sodium tracking, note the salt measure used. If you're purposely reducing salt, use the vinegar fallback or half the teaspoon amount and rely on the juice or acids for flavor. Spoilage and red flags. Plain language. Discard if you see fuzzy, colorful mold or if the jar smells rotten or putrid. A yeasty or tangy smell is okay for short ferments. A putrid or deeply unpleasant odor is not. If you see a slimy texture or the liquid looks cloudy and off in a way you haven't seen before, toss it and wash the jar in hot soapy water. For low-risk disposal, rinse the veg and cook it into a stir-fry if you're unsure and don't have symptoms, but do not eat it raw. Again, high-risk groups should choose the vinegar fallback or a cooked condiment to avoid raw ferments unless cleared by their clinician.
Safety resources in show notes. I've included links to USDA fermentation guidance, local public health pages, the downloadable checklist with gram tables and temperature guidance, and a closed caption transcript. If you want exact salt by weight, that checklist is the place. On air, we use the conservative teaspoon fallback to make trialing easy without a scale.
Quick recap. Today you heard what quick ferments are, why a chilled 48-hour window reduces risk, 2 recipes you can try in a single jar, refrigerator sauerkraut and lime carrot quick pickle, low sodium options, culturally flexible swaps, and clear discard rules. If you're ready to try this, pick 1 jar and run a 7-day micro trial using the checklist in the notes. Share 1 short sentence about your experiment on social media and tag @EarthyRemedy. I love hearing small wins.
Thanks for spending this time with me. May this tiny jar practice bring more flavor and a little extra joy to your meals. Listen to your body. Trust the earth. Feel the difference. Until next time, this is Earthy Remedy.